Hi, thank you for joining me with the Parenting Playbook with Nikki. I'm Nikki. This week, again, we're going to discuss parenting teens with anxiety and depression. This time, we're going to talk about when to seek professional help and also building a support system for your teen. You may be here because you're concerned about your teen's mental health, or maybe you're already on this journey and just looking for some extra support. Either way, this session is meant to empower you with clarity and confidence. So, we'll explore when professional help is needed, what options are out there, and how to surround yourself and your teen with the right people. So, with that, let's get started. Why this topic matters. Mental health is super important. So these struggles are often invisible and they sort of stay invisible until they become very urgent. So as parents, it can be hard for us to tell the difference between a rough patch and something more serious. But here's what we know. Early intervention makes a really big difference. Research shows that the earlier a teen can get help for their anxiety or depression, the more likely they will recover and build lasting coping skills. Support systems really matter too. Teens who have strong, consistent support, whether from family, friends, or schools, or community, they become more resilient. So when parents feel supported, they're better able to take care of their teens and their teens' needs. So it's not about just fixing the problem. It's really about creating an environment where healing and growth are possible. So here's some warning signs and when to seek help. So how do you know it's time to seek some professional help? Well, start by paying attention to the patterns and durations. If your teen is feeling down or anxious or irritable for more than 2 weeks and it's really affecting their daily life, it's time to explore what more support is available for them. So, this might show up as having trouble getting out of bed, failing grades, social withdrawal, big shifts in appetite or sleep. Also, take note of certain behaviors like self harm, talk of suicide, or extreme hopelessness. These are urgent signs that your teen needs immediate professional intervention. So don't wait for things to get worse. It's okay to seek help even if you're unsure. It's better to overreact and be told everything is okay than to miss an important moment to intervene. We want to make sure that you trust your gut. So you know your child better than anyone. If your gut is telling you something's not right, even if these things may seem small, pay attention. I've had many parents say something like, something just feels off. That intuition is very powerful. Sometimes we second guess ourselves because we don't want to label our kids or jump to conclusions. But seeking help doesn't mean labeling. It means opening up space for understanding. And here's the thing, if you don't need you don't need a diagnosis to ask for support, even if your teen isn't in crisis, they may still benefit from a neutral adult to talk to, especially if they're struggling with big emotions or stressful transitions. So, who can we go to for help? Well, let's talk about different kinds of professionals that can support your teen. Most people start with their pediatrician or family doctor. They know your child's health baseline better than anyone, and they can help screen for depression and anxiety. When you go to the doctor with your teen, most times they're going to give a depression screening at the beginning of the appointment. If not, you can always ask that they do so. School counselors, when school is in session, are often the first line of support. They can usually meet with students in the school, check in regularly, and connect families with resources. So there are also therapists like me. They can either be licensed clinical social workers, licensed clinical therapists, marriage and family therapists, psychologists. These all help teens manage their emotions, build skills, and help them heal and give them more support and psychoeducation for things that they're going through. If your teen needs medication, they can see a psychiatrist who can assess their mental health and prescribe those medications as needed. It's okay to include this option in your conversation with your teen. And if you feel overwhelmed, just start with one person. Any professional can guide you through the rest of the process. And if you decide to have your teen seek therapy, what can they expect from it? Well, starting therapy can feel like a big step, especially if it's your teen's first experience with it. So here's what typically happens. First, we will do an assessment, and this helps us understand what your teen is experiencing, what their strengths are, what their needs are, and from there, we'll set goals, usually in partnership with the teen. Therapy is often confidential, which can feel tricky to a parent, but most therapists will involve you appropriately. If we know your child is in danger at any moment, we will reach out to you and seek you for extra support in managing those situations. Over time, you might notice changes like better communication, less emotional outbursts, improved coping skills. But therapy is not always a quick fix. It's definitely a process. Think of it as planting seeds that grow over time with care and consistency. It can take a while for things to get better, but eventually small changes will happen. Some common barriers to getting help. Many families delay therapy for a number of understandable reasons. There's still a lot of stigma that comes with needing help. People think of it as there's something wrong with my child or that it reflects poorly on your parenting. We want to break that myth. Getting help is really a strength, not a failure. Some parents think it's just a phase or they'll grow out of it. It's true that teens are moody, but there's a big difference between normal ups and downs and a mental health condition. You also might face practical barriers like cost or insurance issues. Many schools and community clinics offer low cost or sliding scale options. So don't hesitate to ask. You can always find out if you can work something out with a person that you want to work with. And finally, your teen might say, I just don't want to go. And that's okay. Resistance is normal, but even reluctant teens often open up once they feel safe with a therapist. And if you try one therapist and your teen absolutely doesn't like it, I really recommend that you try another one. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody does the same things in therapy. You want your child comfortable and to build rapport with that therapist so they feel safe and comfortable exploring the needs and things that they need to discuss with them. So how do we talk to our teen about getting this help? How do you bring up therapy in a way that your teen can actually hear? We always want to start with a calm, compassionate tone and use I statements like, I've noticed you've seemed really down lately and I'm worried about you. We want to avoid that judgment and pressure. So say something like, I think talking to someone would really help. Would you be open to try for a few sessions? And offer choices if possible. Would you prefer somebody in person or virtual? Would you want me to go with you the first time or wait outside? There's many options. Many therapists can do virtual or only do virtual. Therapists can do a combination of either in person or virtual, or we can do all in person. It is really what your teen feels most comfortable with. And we also want to normalize therapy. Saying things like, lots of people talk to therapists when they're overwhelmed. It doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with you. It just means you care about feeling better. This really helps to normalize it for your teen and hopefully make them feel more comfortable with seeking help. Now we want to talk about building a support system. Professional help is crucial, but everyday support matters too, and it often starts at home. That means consistent check-ins, emotional safety check-ins, and shared routines. And beyond the family, think about some trusted adults that your teen can connect with. It could be a coach, a teacher, a family friend. These relationships can provide different perspectives and safe spaces for your teen. Encourage positive peer relationships. Supportive friendships can really help teens feel seen and less alone. There are also peer support groups that connect teens facing similar challenges, and you can search those online as well. And also, if you're part of a faith community or cultural group, those can be an excellent source of help as well. We're building a web of connection, so no one parent or teen has to go through this alone. Support for parents matters too. So you're doing an incredibly hard job raising a teen. And parenting a teen with anxiety and depression can also feel like walking on a tightrope. To support without enabling, help without hovering, which is why you need support too. So consider talking to your own therapist, joining a parent support group, or even scheduling regular time for things that refill your tank. Make sure you have self-care on hand as well too. It's not selfish, it's really essential. You are your teen's anchor, and you can't be steady if you're constantly drained. Remember, you can't pour into an empty cup. So prioritize your own well-being, and you'll be able to help your child navigate theirs better. Some action steps you may want to take this week. Here are 3 simple but powerful steps you can take. So 1 is to reflect. Think honestly about what you're seeing in your teen, and are the signs pointing to a need for help? So check that your teen has some ambition, that they're not staying in bed all day, every day, that they're not just locking themselves in their room all the time. I know teens really want to do that nowadays, especially since they have their phones they can go on and screens that they use. A lot of times they do spend time alone, and it's not always bad. We just want to watch out for the warning signs of feelings of hopelessness and despair or self-harm, or even if they're not that serious, that they're just getting to a point where they don't sleep right, they don't eat right. These can be signs that they really need somebody to talk to. Also, another step you can take is identify who makes up your support system. Is there anyone you can include or reach out to? This can be friends, grandparents, like I said earlier, coaches, teachers, family friends, aunts, uncles, cousins, things like that you can include in this help for you or your teen and make things a little bit easier. Next one is to plan. So try to make one connection, and maybe that's calling a therapist or reaching out to a school counselor, maybe asking a friend for a recommendation. Small steps can lead to big changes. And remember, no action is too small. Every time you show up for your teen, it matters. I want to provide you with some resources here. So if you think your child is in crisis, if they feel suicidal, or even if they feel like harming themselves, we want to call 988. And this is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's available 24/7. You or your teen can call us and talk to somebody who can de-escalate the situation in real time. This is support in the middle of the night when you can't find support elsewhere or you're unsure what to do. They can give you more resources. PsychologyToday.com is a great tool for finding licensed therapists by specialty, location, and insurance. You can go on that website, type in your needs, and it will come up with a list of therapists that might fit your needs. There are other websites that do this as well. So just use your search engine and Google, find a therapist, and different things will come up. You can also check out NAMI. That is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They do have a website. You can find them online. They will offer support groups, some education, and also advocacy as well. And don't forget your local resources, your teen school, community centers, your pediatric office. They might be able to connect you to services you didn't even know existed. So bookmark these, save them, reach out if you need. I really appreciate you being here for this series with me. It takes a lot of love to show up for your teen and learn how to better support them and yourself. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. You're not expected to have it all figured out. None of us do. What matters is you're here, you're willing to learn, you're committed and compassionate and showing up for your teen. And let's take care of ourselves as we take care of our kids. Again, thank you for joining me. This wraps up our presentation on how to support your teen with anxiety and depression. I'm so thankful that you guys joined me for this series. Watch out for the new series coming out after this. I hope you enjoyed all the information that I provided with you, and I really hope that it helps. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me through email at nicole@mosaiccounseling-wi.com, or for our list of services and providers, you can also go to mosaiccounseling-wi.com to find more information. Thank you.